Today we're doing a deep dive on the Ecalendar that the team very kindly sent out to me to take a look at. This looks awesome. Not only is it an Ecalendar, it's also an event planner, a task tracker, a photo frame, a reward chart, a meal planner. There's a lot going on with this. So let's take a look and see what we think. Let's take a look at this amazing calendar. The calendar itself comes in like a frame. It is around about legal paper size, A4 size. It's quite a nice thickness. There are control buttons on the side there for power and volume up and down. This does have a volume on it with the clicks and the videos it plays as well. I'm going to have it turned down for just for today. And to show you the reverse, it's very simple on the back here. You've got the kickstand, so if you want to have it sitting up, you've got the stand there. You can actually remove this absolutely fine. And there is the cable connection there, so you can actually have it connected with or without the cable. It's quite clever, really. So you can have it connected like that if you wanted to. Also, presentation-wise, you can have it vertically or horizontally. As you can see, it flips. And these are just pictures that I've uploaded onto the frame. I'll show you those shortly. But yeah, you can actually have it either way up, whatever way you like the look of. And aside from the very nice, pretty little box, which is really giftable looking, you do get a very thorough user manual, and it is very thorough, but it's very easy. I went through this page by page to set myself up, and it was absolutely fine, really self-explanatory, loads of pictures. So don't feel overwhelmed by this. It's very simple. So when you first open up your Ecalendar, it's going to be blank. Now, running alongside the e-reader is a free app from the App Store. This works on Android or iPhone. Really recommend you download this when you purchase, because it's going to be really easy to synchronize it. Now, they are fully synchronized. So if you do something on your phone, maybe you're out and about and you want to put in a task, you can do it on here, and it within about a second, maybe a second and a half, it's going to be hitting the e-reader, the Ecalendar. So it's very pretty much almost instantaneous. So we'll be jumping between the two today as we look at different things. You'll notice on the phone, for example, there are different tabs here for different options: the calendar, the tasks, the rewards, the lists, the meals, the photos, and then the sync options as well, of the notifications. You're going to notice on the Ecalendar, they are mimicked down the side. So it's very much like for like. So you can definitely feel very seamless. Once you got registered and you're set up, it is a very seamless experience. But let's just take a look at the calendar itself first of all, and then we'll jump back to the phone. So here's the navigation area down the side, very similar to a computer. At the top here, there's your weather. When you set your location in the app, it will pull the weather information through, which is really helpful. Then you have your different tabs here: calendar, tasks, rewards, meals, photos, lists, and then obviously your sleep mode. We're going to go through each one. Now, I have put in some fake information in here for us. And when you set up, you can have different users on here. So for example, I've got my cats, kiddos, my husband and myself. So in this, different events in the calendar you can assign to different people. So for example, when to go to the dentist, I might set it for my husband, or if I want to go dancing, it might be for myself. When you set up an event, you give it a colour, give it a name, and this will drag through the whole of the app. Then we've got the tasks. We'll take a deep dive at the calendar in a moment. Then you've got your tasks, which are daily events or weekly events that you want to assign to people. So for example, you want to make sure their beds get changed, people do their homework, you would set up your task in here. And again, like before, this will be in the phone app as well. So don't worry about using this if you suddenly remember something when you're in the middle of your shopping, you want to add on a quick task, you can do it from your phone as well. And linked to those tasks, once you do them, you can set up to have rewards, which is really fab if you've got little ones and you want to incentivize them doing things like housework, their homework, just chores around the house. It's a really handy little system. And then you've got your meal planner, which is really helpful if you're into meal planning like myself, and then the photos. Let's go back to the calendar though. So with the calendar view, you've got the different color coding for the categories I've already set up. You set up your own. If you're on your own, you might have 10 people you're working with. You can. Now, what I would say is as well, you can pull in other calendars as well. There are full instructions, super easy in the manual how to do that. This one for me is just using the amazing free app that they give you. So you don't need to pay, the app is free. I'm just using that for now. Maybe you wanted to pull in your Google Calendar or your iCloud calendar. You can do that really easy as well. Then so the instructions are all in the booklet. But for now, I'm just using this one. There is different views here. So you've got your schedule, your day, your week or your month. Schedule, you can select exactly how many days you want to view. So if you wanted the full 7 days, you can as a schedule type, but you can adjust that as well just to have, say you only wanted to do 4 days, you can just see 4 days rather than the full 7 days. Maybe you're looking 3 days ahead. Then you've got your day view, which tells you what's happening today. So this would be the list. If you had everyone having 10 different things, you'd have a very long list, along with your calendar overview here. And then you have your week here, giving you a week summary, a nice full 7 days, and then a little sneak peek into next week. And then you have your month view as well, if you want to have a really big overview. Let's have a look at next month. There we go, it is looking nice and full. These are all events I have placed in here. If you want to add an event into your e-calendar straight from here, maybe the kiddos want to do it, maybe your partner, you can just press the button there and add it manually. You got the title of what the event is there. You pick your day, when it starts, when it ends. If it's an all-day event, and then you would assign it to a person. And you can do exactly the same thing in your phone. So if you'd rather use your phone for this, and maybe other people would like to use the e-calendar, you can, or you can just do mix and match, depending if you're on the go or not. So let's add an event here. Let's press the little plus button there. We are going to go to the vets. Press the green tick. It's going to be an all-day event, and I'm going to assign it to the cats. And it's going to be November, let's have a look, November 7th. Okay, and press save. That will now save that there. It'll pretty much instantaneously sync to the app. Let's go to the month view, and we now have, if you can see on the 7th, we have an event for the vets. Poor things. So yeah, it's very, and vice versa, if you do it on the phone, it would pretty much ping straight away through there. And there's, moving on from the calendar section, we got those tasks. And the tasks there, as you can see, will match the different categories we've got set up. So you can actually now see by person, if you'd rather than seeing the calendar view, seeing by person what's going on. So you've got your who you are and what's on your agenda. You'll notice as well, it's got the when it was due, and also a star rating, which tells us what it's worth in the reward chart. So if you want to assign reward grades to your tasks, for fun, to incentivize the kiddos, you certainly can. So that is the task view. And once you complete the tasks, you can tick them off. So let's tick off the fact that the cats did their exercise and the kids did change their bed linen. Wonderful. And my husband did in fact clean his car. Lovely. And I also cleaned the kitchen. Wonderful. Aren't I efficient? So the calendar and the tasks are definitely linked. Now move on to the rewards. Now you may have noticed that some of those tasks had little stars next to them. This is where you would decide, you would choose and see your stars and how you're progressing for your events. And in the phone app, you can actually set these up. And so for the tasks, we're going to jump back to the phone. I thought it'd be a bit fun. Here is a summary of what is on, exactly what's on the e-calendar as well. You might prefer this view, you might like jumping between them. You might want to have a little sneaky look. Maybe your kids are at home and you're out and you want to see how they're progressing. So also on here, you have the way to set up the rewards itself, what things are worth. So if you want to, for example, say that sweeping the floor, you can have an emoji to it if you want to, give it a little kiss. How many stars do you think sweeping the floor is? I'm going to say it's a 2-star. It's a 2-star. And potentially who could complete this task? I'm going to say any of us can do that. You can also add in a space for a description. So if you wanted to add in a bit more information, say must include mopping as well, something like that. Don't forget to do a stairwell, that kind of thing. You can add extra notes in there. But there you go, and save. So we now have a new task just appeared on our screens. This is all different rewards. I'm going to say, I'm going to redeem it. I want the present. Wonderful. Great work. I've redeemed it. Got 2 points. Fabulous. How awesome is that? So yeah, this is a really great way to set up your rewards and link to the task. It's really fab. Some tasks, in any task, you don't have to have a reward at all. You can just leave the stars off. If, for example, you think you're not quite into rewards, I personally am. So that is the calendar, the tasks, and the matching rewards to go with those tasks as well, which I think is a really, really great way to have fun with your plans and your family and all your events. The next one is probably my wheelhouse, which is the meal planning. So if you like to plan ahead, maybe you want to make sure you're using up what you've got in your fridge or freezer, maybe your family like to get involved with the meal planning, this is a really great way to plan. So it comes with the 4 sections there. You've got your breakfast, lunches, dinners and snacks, and you can simply just put in there what it is you fancy. You can also sort of filter and remove different categories that you don't want to see. So I've just removed the snacks there. We don't really need to plan snacks, or do you? I quite like snacks, so maybe I do. Here we go, put those back. and you can plan ahead week by week. There are gaps there. Now it does, what's really handy with this is it does come preloaded with a few suggestions, so to get you going. So let's have a look. I've already put my bagels in there because I like a good bagel, but for dinner I've got some gaps here. Spaghetti and burgers, a lot of burgers, but let's just put something else in. And there's some suggestions there, and you can add as many as you wish. So let's also add a recipe. Let's add one here. So what do we like? Should we have meatballs? I haven't had meatballs for a very long time. That's going to be a dinner, and you can also add a description, so you could add in, say, frozen. There we go. Put in there and add, and it will create that for you. So now in my list of meals, I've got that there. Let's just check the phone as well. Let's get this phone on. Now, so on Tuesday the 4th, let's get the Tuesday the 4th on. Here we go. Tuesday the 4th, I'm going to have meatballs, and there we go. The meatballs have appeared. So you can also add in things from the app. So if you wanted to start building up all of your favourite foods, you can certainly start adding in there. So I'm going to say a protein shake. Let's add that in there. Category, I'll put that as breakfast. There we go. Pancakes. Let's put in there a bacon sandwich. There we go. And let's add a bacon sandwich. There it is. It's appeared on the listing. Wonderful. So depending on what you want to use this for, I think this would be really great as a fitness planner. Using the calendar to obviously plan your life, but also maybe have a category for your fitness. So if you want to set up, maybe put your classes in here. If you've got a class you go to, or your gym offers regular classes, you can maybe add that in so you can see what's going on. I think it'd be a really great way to plan your fitness and your meal planning at once. It's really handy as well for your family to know exactly what is being on the menu for the week, and then maybe say, actually, you know, Mum, I'm not so keen on meatloaf. Can we have something else? And you can go, no. And, you know, it's a really good way to see what's going on and help you to plan ahead with your groceries and things as well. There's also, talking of groceries, there is a list section. So if you want to make a to-do list, a grocery list, you and your family can keep tabs of what it is you need. Perhaps you're looking at your meal plan and going, actually, we haven't even got any bacon. Let me add some bacon on there. And again, this will sync to your phone. So if you start getting into the habit of using this, you'll start to take it out when you go shopping. So you actually, my family have put on, we need bacon, we need, you know, candy, we need toilet roll. You'll get into the habit of having that straight on your phone. So that's a really good way to manage it. And you can add any other list that you want as well and give them a colour code so you can keep them tracked really easily. And again, in the app, these are the lists. And there you can see we've added the bacon on there. Delicious. And the last function, which is really fun, this is also a photo frame. So when you have it plugged in and it goes into standby mode, the photos will come across, and not just photographs as well, videos. So if you've got a video with or without sound, it will play that as part of your screensaver. And I think you can have, I think up to 50, I believe. But we'll just check out the photographs. I'm going to put my hand across here because it does show my email address. So here we go. These are the photographs that I've already pre-loaded into the system, just some really pretty little ones. And when I go into standby mode, it will just slowly rotate those through. And the photographs can be added via your phone. You just do a little upload from there, and these are the ones that I picked. Or you can also pick videos as well. Just to briefly show you the screensavers, these are the photographs. You can have portrait or landscape, whatever photographs you've got there. When you do have one, you can also adjust it. You can go to full pan, and it would slowly pan through. I think it's a really nice little touch there. I think the visually with the photographs and also videos, if you put videos on there, is a really nice quality. It's really dynamic. It's as good as any tablet I've ever seen. So I think the picture quality is really nice. You can also, if you want to skip one, you can scroll through another. Any ones you like, portrait or landscape, you can also flip them horizontally, and there's the pan there as well. Really pretty, a really crisp colour. There we go. We can loot it, rotate it. Let's rotate these. There we go. We rotate those. Isn't that pretty? And let's get to a video. And here we go. We have got a video of a cat doodle playing. And again, I think for a e-calendar, this is a really good picture. I think it's absolutely wonderful. So you can maybe put your wedding photographs on there, your kids' photographs, your videos of your kids playing. It'd be a really great touch. It also has a sleep mode. So if you did want to turn it off, maybe you didn't want it on throughout, you know, after 9 p.m. and you just wanted to have it on sleep mode, you can do. But you can always give it a little tap and turn it back on. I think you'll agree why I'm so excited about this e-calendar. It is a lot going on. I think it's a really great product. I think it's very versatile. I cannot wait to be using it for my meal planning, my fitness planning as well, and just to share my pictures that I don't always get to see because they're always stuck in my phone. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much again for the team for very kindly sending it out to me. I really do recommend it, and I give this one 5 stars.